Yeah. Something shift behind my eyes. The the queen and drink off the wake, and the workers took their place. I knelt down in the rubble dust and put my palm flat on the bass. Chalkline City, Chalkline City. If there's still a shape within the ruin, Chalkline City, Chalkline City. Don't let the past stop what we're doing. We can live with what we rebuild. We can live with what we rebuild. Chalkline City. Truck rumbling down the drive. I found the marble from the old street game, half buried but somehow still alive. I stopped the crew to show them where the corner store used to catch the sun. They laughed and put it in the cornerstone. Said, look, the old and new are one. Then the crane engine coughed awake, and the workers took their place. I stood up from the rubble dust and put my hand against the base. Chalkline City, Chalkline City. If there's still a shape within the ruin, Chalkline City, Chalkline City. Don't let the past stop what we're doing. We can live with what we rebuild. We can live with what we rebuild. Chalkline City. If the memory fades, if the ground won't hold, if this whole damn city forgets what it was told, meet me where the framework stands. I'll bring the vision, you bring the I still use the pot with the chip white paint, handle taped up from a long ago crack. Your photos tucked in the spiced tin lid, where I keep the things I can't put back. The ghetto whistles the same old tune. It's whistled the night you asked me to dance. I stir them in slow with a wooden spoon. Catches the afternight, and I hear the courtyard burst. I pour 2 cups from habit still, though I only need the one now, love. Chipped in hammer, chipped in hammer. If there's still a warmth left in the steam, chipped in hammer, chipped in hammer. Don't let the years erase the dream. We can live with what remains. left in light, and I hear the courtyard birds. I pour 2 cups from my still, though I only need the one now, love. If there's still a warmth left in the steam, don't let the years erase the dream. We can live with what remains. We can live with what remains. If my hands get slow, if the light grows dim, if this whole damn house forgets where you've been, meet me where the kettle sings. I'll bring the years, you bring the spring. I stood by the barrier in the dust, papers folded in my jacket tight. God waved the truck through with a lazy hand, generator humming in the night. You were leaning on a concrete post, cigarette blowing in your face. Asked me if I had a lighter left. I said I'm trying to leave this place. Then a siren cut the air, and the whole line shuffled back. Yeah. You looked at me through the rising smoke, like we were walking the same track. Checkpoint smoke, checkpoint smoke. If there's still a border we can both cross. Checkpoint smoke, checkpoint smoke. Don't let the fear become the cause. We can't live with who we trust. We can't live with who we trust. Checkpoint smoke. We walked together to the waiting shed, sat on a bench with feeling pain. You said you left without a word. I said I left because I couldn't stay. God called numbers to a megaphone, static crackling in the desert heat. You crushed this cigarette beneath your boot, said look we're almost free. Then a siren cut the air, and the whole line shuffled back. You grabbed your bag and stood up tall, like we were walking the same track. Checkpoint smoke, checkpoint smoke. If there's still a border we can both cross. Checkpoint smoke, checkpoint smoke. Don't let the fear become the cause. We can't live with who we trust. We can't live with who we trust. Checkpoint smoke. If the gate stays closed, if the stamps don't clear, if this whole damn line never moves again, meet me where the fence runs out. I bring the risk, you bring the route. Checkpoint smoke, checkpoint smoke. There's still a border we can both cross. Checkpoint smoke, shirt from yesterday, coffee cold in a paper cup. Nurse at the desk kept smiling soft, like she knew I was coming apart. Your bag was open by the chair, tiny socks on top of the floor. I stared at the vending machine light and tried to slow my hands down. Then that door swung wide and I heard you call. I stood up too fast, hit my knee on the wall. I held my breath, they waiting. Hold on, hold on. If there's still a fear, let it break here. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Don't let this moment pass unheard. We can live with what will change. We can live with what will change. Hold on. Rain kept streaking the window glass, gray morning hanging over the light. Your mother paced with both hands clasped, like prayer was all she had left. I looked at the car seat, but my boots still wrapped up in the store tag plastic. Laughed at how small the straps looked, said, look, I'm not ready at all. And that door swung wide, and I heard you call. I stood up too fast, hit my knee on the wall. I held my breath, they waiting. Hold on, hold on. If there's still a fear, let it break here. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Don't let this moment pass unheard. We can live with what will change. We can live with what will change. Hold on. If I shake too much, if I cry out loud, if this whole damn love feels too big right now, meet me where first breath starts. I'll bring my name. You bring the heart. Hold on, hold on. If there's still a fear, let it break here. Hold on, hold on, hold on. believed it. Ash on the steps, ash on the steps. There's still a house, it starts like this. Ash on the steps, ash on the steps. Don't let the fire have the last word. We can live with what got spared. We can live with what got spared. Ash on the steps. We found a sink in a pile of beans. One blue plate somehow unbroken. I picked up the frame from the hallway wall. Glass gone, picture smoked at the edges. You laughed when the wind kicked up. Sand gray flakes dancing through the grass. Said, look, even now it moves like that. Was enough for the day. Then the boy gave way, and I heard it crack. You pulled your gloves on slow and said, we start with that. I looked at you and I believed it. Ash on the steps, ash on the steps. If there's still a house, it starts like this. Ash on the steps, ash on the steps. Don't let the fire have the last word. We can live with what got spared. We can live with what got spared. Ash on the steps. If the rain comes hard, if the funds run dry, if this whole damn road feels too steep to climb, meet me where the porch once stood. I'll bring the nails, you bring the wood. Ash on the steps, ash on the steps. If there's still a house, it starts like this. Ash on the steps, ash on the steps. Don't let the fire have the last word. We can live with what got spared. We can live with what got spared. Ash on the steps. I clocked in at 4:45. Paper cap, hairpin string hanging loose. Grease already sitting in the air, like the whole place never really slept. Manager yelling from the freezer door. Truck late again with the bread. I got the pen in my back pocket and chorus lines in my head. And the fires drop and the whole place roared. I wipe my hands on the towel and look through the window glass at the parking lot, like it was a runway. Paper cap, paper cap. If there's still a way out, I'm finding that. Paper cap, paper cap. Don't let this shift become my name. We can live with starting small. We can live with starting small. Lunch rush, hit like a thunder roll. Drive through lights stacked up in red. Kid on grill said he's heading north. Soon as he gets enough ahead, I took the trash out by the bins. Heard bass from a car at the curb. Laughed at my reflection in the lid. Said look, you're still absurd. And the fryers drop and the whole place raw. I took that pen back in my jeans like I needed for something more. I looked through through the steam, and I can see it. Paper cup, paper cup. If there's still a way out, I'm finding that. Paper cup, paper cup. Don't let this shift become my name. We can live with starting small. We can live with starting small. Paper cup. If the rain comes fast, if the doubt gets loud, if this whole damn town keeps my wheels spinning round, meet me where the backlot ends. I'll bring the songs, you'll bring the jam. Paper cap, paper cap. If there's still a way out, I'm finding that. Paper cap, paper cap. Don't let this shit become my name. We can live with starting small. We can live with starting small. Paper cap. I found a little shoe still in the box, tucked behind the towels on the shelf. You didn't say a word when you saw my face, just sat down slow beside yourself. We stopped counting the days on the calendar, stopped circling the dates in red. I poured 2 glasses of water by the sinking and sat in silence instead. And the ceiling fan clicked twice, and I heard you catch your breath. I reached across the kitchen table before the silence turned to less. Glass half sand, glass half sand. If there's still a hope we're holding on to. Glass half sand, glass half sand. Don't let the waiting turn on you. We can live with what we're given. We can live with what we're given. Glass half sand. Drove out past the empty nursery store, windows dark with the closing sign. You put your hand flat on my knee, like you were checking if I was fine. I stopped the car by the dry canal, where we used to talk about the names. You laughed through the tears rolling down, said, look, the water might still come again. And the ceiling fan clicked twice, and I heard you catch your breath. I held your hand across the sea before the silence turned to less. Glass half sand, glass half sand. If there's still a hope we're holding on to. Glass half sand, glass half sand. Don't let the waiting turn on you. We can live with what we're given. We can live with what we're given. Glass half sand. If the months roll by, if the doctors sigh, if this whole damn house stays too quiet inside, meet me where the patience bends. I'll bring the faith, you bring the strength. Na, 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 na. I left the place to the very end. Couldn't wrap those up too soon. Your coat was still on the hallway hook, like you might come home at noon. The movers took the couch by 10. Bookshelves gone by 1:30. I stood in the bedroom with one lamp left and dust where the bed had been. And the front door swung and it hit the wall. Just wine from the yard, no one there at all. I closed my eyes and picked up the box. Last box up. Last box up. If there's still a piece of me in here. Last box up. Last box up. Don't let this silence be the truth. We can live with what is gone. We can live with what is gone. Last box up. I found your mug by the kitchen sink. Chip on the side from winter break. Saw the mark where the calendar hung. Still one day left in the paint. I walked through every empty room, listening to my footsteps change. Laughed when the echo hit me back. Said look, it sounds bigger this way. Then the front door swung and it hit the wall. Just wine from the yard, no one there at all. I locked it slow and picked up the box. Last box up. Last box up. If there's still a piece of me in here. Last box up. Last box up. Don't let this silence be the truth. We can live with what is gone. We can live with what is gone. Last box up. If the nights get long, if the rooms stay cold, if this whole damn loss feels too sharp to hold, meet me where the driveway bends. I'll bring the keys, you bring the air. Last box up. Last box up. If there's still a piece of me in here. Last box up. Last box up. Don't let this silence be the truth. We can live with what is gone. We can live with what is gone. Last box up. Your boots are still by the back door, man. Mud dried hard along the seam. I passed them 3 times this morning, carrying boxes to the curb. Neighbor asked if I needed help. I said no to the screaming wire, then stood in the kitchen by myself. with your coffee cup in my hand. Then that old fridge kicked on, and I heard the house breathe low. I sat down at the table edge and let the quiet talk. Nah, yeah. Nah, yeah. If there's still a place for you in here, nah, yeah. Nah, yeah. Don't make me call this whole thing done. We can live with missing you. We can live with missing you. Nah, yeah. I found your cap on the closet shelf. Ticket stub tucked in the bed. From that county game we left early when the sky broke open with rain. I laughed at the rip above the brim. Said I fixed it every winter since. Held it up in the hallway. Light said, look, it still fits your head. That old fridge kicked on, and I heard the house breathe low. I leaned against the pantry door and let the quiet talk. Nah, yeah. Nah, yeah. If there's still a place for you in here, nah, yeah. Nah, yeah. Don't make me call this whole thing done. We can live with missing you. We can live with missing you. Nah, yeah. If the dust piles up, if the grass gets high, if this whole damn grief outstays the light, meet me where the back steps creak. I'll bring the ache, you bring the ease. Nah, yeah. Nah, yeah. If there's still a place for you in here, nah, yeah. Nah, yeah. Don't make me call this whole thing done. We can live with missing you. We can live with missing you. Nah, yeah. I zipped the duffel by the kitchen light. Passport one from your hand to mine. You stood there folding my old gray shirt, like you could fold away the time. The taxi home twice from the curb below. I felt my chest go tight and thin. You pressed the photo into my palm. Said, bring this back when you come in. Then the engine hit the runway home, and I felt the tarmac shake. I pressed my palm against the glass, watching everything I couldn't take. Borrow sky, borrow sky. If there's still a runway I can find. Borrow sky, watching everything I couldn't take. Borrow sky, borrow sky. If there's still a runway I can find, borrow sky, borrow sky. Don't let the distance change your mind. We can live with what we chase. We can live with what we chase. Borrow sky. If the signal drops, if the time zones fight, if this whole damn world keeps us out of sight, meet me where the clouds break through. I'll bring the miles, you bring the truth. I got there late in a wrinkled shirt, coffee lid cracked in my hand, third inning sun straight in my eyes, dust lifting off the infield dirt. Your mother nodded from the top rope, didn't wave, just made some move. I sat down 2 seats from the rail and watched you tuck those batting gloves. Then the coach called your name and I felt my whole chest lock. You stepped into that batter's box like you belong there all along. Swing away, swing away. If there's still some time I haven't lost, swing away, swing away. Don't let my leaving be the story. We can live with where I failed. We can live with where I failed. Swing away. You vowed the first one hard and high, over the fence by the snack bar lights. I laughed when you looked back once, like you were checking who had come. Old man beside me kept scoring pen, said that kid's got quick hands. I wiped my thumb across my cup and said, yeah, he got those from her. Then the coach called your name and I felt my whole chest lock. You settled in and drove one deep past the shortstop's glove. Swing away, swing away. If there's still some time I haven't lost, swing away, swing away. Don't let my leaving be the story. We can at the table with the worn-out book. Grandmother's letters in the script I couldn't read. She traced the words slow with a crooked finger, patient with every word I'd need. My phone stayed dark for once that night. No translation app to save the sound. I stumbled twice on a simple greeting. She smiled like I had found solid ground, and she hummed the words like a melody, and the kitchen radio hummed along. I repeated slow after her breath, feeling like I finally belong. Borrow language, borrow language. If there's still a word I can make my own. Borrow language. Don't let the silence claim the throne. We can live with what we learn. We can live with what we learn. Borrow language. We practiced through the fading afternoon. Her old stories filling up the room. I wrote the letter shaky on the page. She correct me gentle, never harsh or rude. I stopped to ask about my grandfather's name, the way he used to sing it out at dawn. She laughed and sang the tune herself. Said, look, it never really left this home. And she hummed the words like a melody, and the kitchen radio hummed along. I repeated slow after her breath, feeling like I finally belong. Borrow language, borrow language. If there's still a word I can make my own. Borrow language. Don't let the silence claim the throne. We can live with what we learn. We can live with what we learn. Borrow language. If the accent slips, if the pages tear, if this whole damn tongue fades from the air, meet me where the story starts. I'll bring the questions, you bring the heart. I laced up boots 2 sizes too big, left by the door from the man before me. Foreman didn't look up from his clipboard, just tossed the tools and said we'll see. Dust in my throat by the second hour, hands raw from the rope in the crate. I kept my eyes on the rhythm of the crew, matching every move, refusing to wait. Then the whistle called the break, and the crew went quiet and still. I kept walking through the heat, just to prove I had the will. Borrow boots, borrow boots. If there's still a path for me to prove. Borrow boots, borrow boots. rising frame, sweat mixing with the desert grit. The foreman finally called my name, handed me a wrench and a knot of it. I stopped for water by the water tank, watching the sun sink orange and low. Laughed when he tossed me his old warm glove, said, "Look, you're finally in the flow." And the whistle called a break, and the crew went quiet and still. I kept my head on in the heat, just to prove I had the will. Borrow boots, hey, borrow boots, hey. If there's still a path for me to prove, borrow boots, hey, borrow boots, hey. Don't let the doubt decide the move. We can live with what we earn, we can live with what we earn. Borrow boots. If my hands go numb, if the ladder shakes, if this whole damn job is more than I can take, meet me where the scaffolding ends out. Bring the sweat, you bring the wind. I bought the ticket with crumpled bills at the station by the pawn shop sign. Driver called for carry-ons only, said the rest goes underneath. Mother hugged me by the vending machines, wouldn't let go till they said last call. I climbed the steps with my duffel bag and took the seat by the glass. Then that diesel engine turned and the whole frame shook. I watched Main Street slide backward as far as I could look. Don't turn around, don't turn around. If there's still a road ahead, ride it out. Don't turn around, don't turn around. Don't let this town pull my name back down. We can live with moving on. We can live with moving on. Don't turn around, down, 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 down. my chest, listening to a ghost speak out loud. And you played our favorite track, and the antenna caught the wind. I turned it down just a hair, trying to hold the signal in. Static and stars. Held it close like a beating heart. He mentioned the street I used to know, a joke about the way it would start. I stood in the yard till the show went dark, static rolling back into the night. I laughed at the stars still holding on, said look, we're still in range tonight. Then you played our old favorite track, and the antenna caught the wind. I closed my eyes beneath the dark, trying to hold the signal in. Static and stars, static and stars. If there's still a frequency, that's us. Static and stars, static and stars. Don't let the airwaves hide the scars. We can live with what we hear. We can live with what we hear. Static and stars. Get crossed, if this old damn sky swallows what we lost, leave me with the dial stop. I'll bring the ease, I'll bring the spark. Static and stars. We sat at the table with the worn out book, grandmother's letters in a script I couldn't read. She traced the words slow with her crooked finger, patient with every word I need. My phone stayed dark for once that night, no translation app to save the sound. I stumbled twice on a simple greeting. She smiled like I'd found solid ground. Then she hummed the words like a melody, and the kitchen radio hummed along. I repeated slow after her breath, feeling like I finally belong. Borrowed language, borrowed language. If there's still a word I can make my own. Borrowed language, borrowed language. Don't let the silence claim the throne. We can live with what we learn. We can live with what we learn. Borrowed language. We practiced through the fading afternoon. Her old stories filling up the room. I wrote the letter shaky on the page. She correct me gentle, never harsh or rude. I stopped to ask about my grandfather's name, the way he used to sing it out at dawn. She laughed and sang the tune herself, said, look, it never really left this home. And she hummed the words like a melody, and the kitchen radio ponder long. I repeat it slow after a breath, feeling like I finally belong. Borrow language, borrow language. If there's still a word I can make my own. Borrow language, borrow language. Don't let the silence claim the throne. We can live with what we love. We can live with what we love. Oh, borrow language. If the accent slips, if the pages tear,